Well, what a beautiful morning, Brian.
Oh, can't ask for better than this.
Oh, it is. We're on our favorite lake, Roche Lake, up in the Kamloops area. And of course, I'm fishing with Brian Chan. Expecting bobbers today.
Well, we might see a little bit of indicator fishing, but they're on. It's early. It's early fall.
And define that early fall. What do you mean?
Well, we had such a late summer.
Yeah.
The water temperatures aren't really super cool. They're about 57 degrees Fahrenheit, 56, and we like to get it a titch lower. But
Titch lower, like 50, 52?
Yeah, 50, yeah. But they are eating shrimp.
Oh, shrimp. Not our favorite to fish, but you know, we've got them when they've been on shrimp.
Oh, yeah.
We've got different attractive
And they'll
patterns.
eat leeches.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've got the arsenal to get them. So it's all about fishing Roche Lake with Brian today as we take you sport fishing on the fly. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that big dome. Hey.
I think it's the technique. I think it's the fisherman.
Some days are good, and
Yeah,
some days are better.
a lot better. Sport Fishing on the Fly is brought to you in part by Islander, builder of world-class fly, float, and mooching reels. The Frog Boat, inspired by nature, ingenious by design. And the Freshwater Fishery Society of British Columbia. Catch what you've been missing. Go fish, BC. I think we should take a minute to show everybody about this new little depth sounder you have. It's not only depth, it kind of shows you where the fish are outside.
Yeah, this little hummingbird fishing buddy, which just sits in the water like this and drops in a holster.
That's it.
It's really neat because it gives you both depth below the boat,
Okay.
water temperature, but it also has a side scan feature.
And
so
what is that?
It's shooting out 60. You can set it for 60, 90, or 120 feet, shooting out sideways. So it's marking fish in front of the boat.
It's like a big baseball field.
Yeah, so it tells you what's going on, not only below the boat, but out in front of you.
Up to 100 feet.
Up to 120 feet.
Okay.
So I'll just putt through a shoal area and look for fish. And that's the most important part of this sounder is what's out in front of you.
That's like traditional sounders, you know, you see what's below you, and that was never handy. I mean, you're always fishing below you.
It's such a small radius.
Yeah.
And so this guy's shooting outside, so it tells you what's in front of you, and that's what's
Perfect.
key.
That's what we're trying to fish,
That's what
is
we're
out
trying
over
to
here.
That's why we anchored here, because
Excellent.
I marked a bunch of fish on the side scan.
Good, now let's catch one.
Yeah, okay. Doesn't tell you how to catch them.
No, that's right. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, that's right.
Supposedly.
We're gonna do it.
What did you start with, Brian?
I got a little green marabou, lychee, shrimpy.
Combination thing. Right now we're at about anchored in 15 feet. I think I'm fishing probably to about 12. We're thinking 12 to 14. So just getting the line straightened out. I always like to straighten out the line too. And here's another good tip for everybody is, as you're pulling your line off your reel, stretch it. You know, hold it, stretch it. So what I'm doing is I'll show you. It comes off the reel and you can look. You can see the coils. It gets all coiled up. Never good for a dry line. All you gotta do, give a little pull, and look at that. You know, it just straightens right out. And especially when you're using an indicator to fish, you want that line on the water straight. So as you pull off your line or off your reel, give a little pull, little stretch, and you get a nice straight line. That's very important when you're fishing indicators. Plus it helps you just stay in tune with your line.
Oh,
See, that was a quieter set. The first one I had on, you know, of course, having a couple of flies, couple of patterns that, you know, we knew would work, always have in here. It's imitating a shrimp. It's a little beadhead kind of leech shrimp combination. You know, me and Brian, we've always had luck with this, and This guy ate it, and the first guy had. Whoa! That's what I love about these fish, just the big air. And you know, the first time I put it on, I had a big one on. He was jumping around after, and we saw him, and it was a big fish. I got a little excited and set a bit too hard.
20 minutes later, he was still jumping.
He was still jumping around. Yeah, he wasn't very happy. So this one looks nice. Yeah, you know, that's the standard size, eh, Brian?
Yeah, no, it's good fish. You know, it's pumpable.
Yeah.
We'll find out that he's eating shrimp. And
Yeah. So we're gonna see.
Yeah,
Shrimp
that's what we're gonna see.
and it's just starting. We've just got out here. You know, it's just the beginning of the day.
Oh, we got it. Right in the beak.
Right in the beak.
Do a quick throat pump here, Don. Get the water out.
Okay.
Slide it in. Throat. Oh, he's got something in there.
Oh, good.
And we'll release your beautiful fish.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's a nice comb. That's what I love about Roche Lake. Just all of it here.
Nice Roche Lake rainbow.
Beautiful. There he goes.
Okay, Don. So here's
What do we got?
water in the vial. Oh yeah. 2 shrimp. They're both kind of wiggling still. Bit of zooplankton, but that's it.
That's it. Shrimp. Okay, I'll show the fly.
Oh, actually, a whole bunch of shrimp came out. So there they are.
No water boatman, I guess, eh?
No, all shrimp.
All shrimp. So there's a pattern I'm using, and this one here has always been a favorite. You know, I've tied this on the bench numerous times. I think I just called it Little Green Leech. It's got a gold bead, small gold bead, and I tie it with the red copper wire. You know, you tie it, you form a doubling loop with a red copper wire. Again, just any kind of sparkle dub for the body. Green, small, it's killer. Always works in here. So if you come out to Roche, gotta have a few of those little babies. They're fantastic. I'm getting it back out. I'm getting another one, Bri. And hook one of those big ones this time, like I had the first time. Jeez, I had a nice one. Darn it. Not huge fish, but just nice ones to start with.
Yep.
You know, good size. All about the same. Oh, oh yeah. Oh man. Same as the first one, you know, that couple pound range, 2 to 3, and just going under the anchor. Don't go under there.
He didn't want to come in.
And I can't get it. There we go. Well, look at that. He 2 in a row with that green, with the small green leech.
Yeah,
Which looks like a little shrimp, like you said.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely, it's a perfect gamma shrimp image. It's as close as you want to get, Don.
Yeah, for the gammas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at
Do you
that.
think that gold bead makes any difference?
Oh, I think they like that too.
Yeah.
Nice
Very
fish.
No, not big, but
No.
just beautiful size, nice and clean. Bigger ones to come yet.
Bigger ones.
Geez, they like it though. I think what we should do is go to the bench. We're going to tie up the fly I'm using today, and it's quite effective. You know, it's always worked well here at Roche Lake, so we're going to rename it the Roche Lake Special. So let's go to the bench and show you how to tie it up. Today on the bench, I want to tie you up the Roche Lake Special. This is a leech pattern that has been very effective at Roche Lake every year we fished it, in the spring and the fall. Make sure you have these materials ready before you tie the pattern. For the hook, we'll use a size 12 2x long nymph hook, some 8/0 olive thread to tie with, a 1/8 inch gold tungsten bead as the bead, some light olive sparkle dubbing as the body, some red copper or ultra wire for the wire, some pearl blue angel hair for the tail, and some peacock light bright for the head. To start the fly off, I've tied in my thread and I've moved to the rear of the hook. Now I've taken a small little clump of our angel hair and I'm going to tie it in at the tail. Always go behind. Then I'm just going to cut it again about 1 inch long, 1/2 inch to 1 inch long, different lengths with my scissors, and that's just going to form a small tail off the back just to give it a little glint. The next step to the fly is we want to form the body, and there's different ways to form that body. You want a dubbing brush or a dubbing loop. A lot of people will form a dubbing loop with their thread, and you'll put the dubbing in and then wind it up, wrap it forward. But I like this dubbing block, and I show everybody how to use this dubbing block right now. So let's go through it step by step to form our dubbing brush that we're going to put on to form the body. To start using the dubbing block, we want to take our red wire, which I like to use, and take a length about double the length of the dubbing block and cut that off. What we're going to do is put one end in, a little clamp on the end, just to secure it. Wrap it around our post, go around our turning mechanism, and just hold the other end off while we get our dubbing ready. So that secures the wire in place. Now that we have the wire laid in the track, we're ready to put the dubbing in. And when you put the dubbing on, make sure it's very, very fine. You don't want big clumps of dubbing. You want this very, very light all the way through. So I'm putting on just the body dubbing, which is all the nice light olive on the back end. And then I'll move to the head end and put that peacock light bright, a little clump just at the very head end. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to take a little bit of this peacock light bright, and I'm just taking just an ever so small bit, just to put at the very head, and that's just to give it a little color transition from the light to the dark at the head end. And again, keep it quite fine. Now that we have all the dubbing on the track, I'm going to take the wire off the one end, bring it forward and trap all my dubbing. Take the wire off the other end that I have secured. Hold both ends in my hand on one end and just turn to form the dubbing brush. And just wind it forward. And I don't like to wind it forward until it breaks. So you just keep going until that end breaks off, just like that. And you formed a nice dubbing brush. Now that we have our dubbing brush formed, we're going to tie it in right behind the bead, just to make sure the body stays even. And wrap it back to the hook bend, and wrap my thread forward again, and we'll just wrap this dubbing brush forward to form the body. And we'll pick all the dubbing out a little bit later. And you can pick it out as you go, just to keep the body nice and thin. Now that the body's tied in, I'm going to take my whip finisher and I'm going to whip finish right behind the bead. And once the whip finish is done, I'm going to take my dubbing brush, a little pick, the dubbing pick, and we're going to pick out our dubbing to form a nice leechy body. So there it is, the finished Roche Lake Special. Now, as I showed you, I formed a dubbing brush using the dubbing block, just a handy way for me to create these nice dubbing brushes. But you can also do it with a thread. You can tie it over like many people know. So any way you want to form that dubbing brush, it's just personal preference. Again, this fly really works well with a variety of colors. I've tied in that peacock at the head, the lighter colors in the body with a little bit angel flash at the back. It's just an overall great pattern to use anytime you're fishing leeches. Got the hot fly, bro.
You're on fire.
I got the hot
Well,
fly.
no, what's with
Oh,
this?
here he goes again.
You got one
Look at
hot
that.
fly.
I know. Oh no. Oh, I thought I lost him for a minute. Man, that's a nice fish too. This one looks like 3-4 pounds.
No, it's good.
They're
I
getting
heard-
bigger, bro.
I don't know. I don't know what it feels like.
This fly is hot though. Every 2 or 3 casts, each time I'm getting a fish. It's just great. It's not, steady action. This one's a little bit bigger than the last ones, and it has been. This fly's been just killer. And you have the luxury that we tied that on the bench for you. The fly's being tied on the bench, the Roche Lake Special. Tie yourself up a few and have some good luck. Oh yeah, another gorgeous fish. This one's a little bit bigger. Hey, Brad, again a little bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, another dandy.
That's a beautiful,
Is it?
beautiful
Right
Roche
on
Lake
the, yeah,
fish.
I like it. I'm getting them like a chironomid, right on the top lip.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
No, that's a good sign there.
it
Right?
is.
We'll get this right in the beak.
Right in the beak. In the zone.
Look at that.
Oh, another gorgeous fish. Yeah.
It's a beautiful rainbow.
Beautiful.
All right, we'll let him go.
So after you let them go, Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about what the camping opportunities they have up here at
There we go.
Roche Lake?
Oh,
Oh, there you go. We've spent a little time up at Roche and all the different lakes, and there's always great campsites everywhere up here.
yeah, that's absolutely right. Well, we're in Roche Lake Provincial Park right now, and within this park, there's 9 fishing lakes, including Roche. And there's the major campgrounds on Roche Lake, the main north end where we launched, and then Roche Lake West. And there's also campgrounds on some of the smaller lakes like Horseshoe Lake, has a great little campground on it as well. but there's a really good website.
That's what I was going to ask you. Where do you go?
It's a website where anglers can find out information on about 1,100 stock lakes in the province with camping facilities on it. So if you go on and just check out campingrvbc.com, you can get all this information based on a Google Earth platform, so you can actually see the lake, see the stock, and see what kind of camping amenities on there. And if you're in Kamloops with a big RV and you want to park it somewhere, there's 2 RV parks in Kamloops, the Knutsford RV campground as well as the Kamloops RV park.
And we're pretty close.
And we're close. They're all within 30 minutes of Roche Lake. And so lots of opportunities to explore within the park and other areas in the Kamloops area that have good camping facilities as well.
And most can take a RV or, you know,
Or tenting, camper. Yeah, they're well maintained, easy accessible by passenger cars.
It's campingrvbc.com.
Great site.
I got to check it out.
Oh, he fell off.
Oh,
I'm not having a good day.
that was good, no?
No.
Well, you know, we should probably run through it a little bit about what we've had to go through.
Yeah.
You know, we started off with the little shrimpy leech, we call it. The one we tied on the bench.
Yeah. I mean, they're eating
shrimp.
shrimp. What fish are eating? They're on shrimp, and they're not happy. Remember we said this morning we're kind of in between late summer, early fall. And the fish are here, and they're jumping wherever we've been fishing, and they are feeding, but they're really picky.
They are really picky.
So I've been, I find.
Well, you've got 20, 30 flies sitting right.
Yeah.
Went through.
Yeah.
I got a bunch, and this little green guy seems to work. But then you went with.
I had to put the booby on, see if we can get a fish. And
Well, that booby's like an attractor, like
just out of aggression to chase it away. And
so you just lost the guy.
when the fish aren't feeding heavily, that's what you got to try. You got to be willing to try those different things to just get one in an angry mood to chase it away. And he just didn't stay on long enough. It was a nice fish.
It was a real nice fish, and we saw a couple of good ones in the space. So
yeah.
you know what? We'll try it for a little while. No stress. It's almost time for lunch, and we'll see how it goes.
No stress.
No stress. Oh yeah.
Oh, nice
and I
fish.
lost him.
How many fish have we lost today?
Too many. Oh, we're in such a great spot. I mean, we're sight fishing.
It's a good spot.
8 feet, and we're losing everything. So now to kind of recap what we've gone through for the day, we started with the indicators, had some good luck over in the far shoal, and there was some nice fish over there. Snapped off a couple of big ones, landed a few that we showed you earlier. Came over here, had a little lunch. Came into about 8 feet of water, so we started in about 12 to 15 feet.
Kept moving in,
got into 8 feet. We saw a few fish move, and we're into them now. Yeah. That's 2 in a row for you. Bam, bam.
Yeah, it's about time.
And hot fish.
Oh, they're hot.
You want to get them? Should I get them on this side?
I think we're going to have to this time.
He's got to be spent. He took you way the heck over.
Oh, yeah, he went.
But these are nice.
But you never know in this lake. You never know what's going to hit.
That's the beautiful thing about Roche. You're always potential for the big fish.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Bring them over.
Oh, yeah.
Another dandy fry. Oh, look at how prone they are. They're just gorgeous fish. Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful fish.
Lovely. There he goes. Good job, man.
Go down.
Now, catch one of those big ones. Catch a big one. Yeah. Oh. Jeez, he hit hard. Oh. And this guy hit again real hard. And they're just slamming that thing. And interestingly enough, what we've had to do is get into your fly box, because I had about 3 patterns that was working good, right? The Roche Lake Special had the red rib on it. We've had to go in the fly box and trim back the big leeches.
Yeah, they didn't want them big. They wanted them slender.
Yeah, so always adapt.
Yeah.
You know, if they're not taking what you're presenting, we had the big leeches on. I just took
Yeah.
out my my clips, pulled it
shredding
back to the size of the hook,
Yeah.
and they love it. And they're eating it.
We've gone through a lot of flies today.
Oh, and there's the trim back one, and they like that color, right? It's that kind of olivey,
It's a dull olive
dull
green.
olive green color.
Yeah.
There's a guy, just a nice fish, not huge, just good size.
Oh yeah. Perfect.
There. Boop. Off he goes. All right. Well, that was a great day, Bri.
No, we had to work hard.
We did. You know, it was a good day. We probably caught, I don't know, we hooked 15, 20 fish,
Yeah.
but, you know, landed 8 or 10.
Yeah.
But we broke a lot off.
Lost
Or,
a lot.
sorry, I lost a
You
lot.
lost a lot. Broke a hook or two.
Oh,
Went
which
through
is
my fly box.
went through, but you know, that was the thing. We had to adapt, and I had a lot of these flies in my box. Or no, I used to have a lot of flies like this in my box, but I had a couple. You know, opened up the box, wasn't quite prepared coming up with the Roche Lake Special. I thought, so we had to adapt. Brian had these big leeches, you know, big and fluffy. All we did, we trimmed them down,
Shaved them.
and they work great all day.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So who you got to thank? We got to thank a lot of people, don't we?
Well, yeah, thanks certainly BC Parks for allowing us to come into Roche Lake.
Because this is a provincial park,
Provincial Park to allow us to film on here.
which is great as always.
And, you know, we got to thank the Freshwater Fish Society of BC for continuing the stocking program.
That's
great.
important, you know, and I want to stress out with everybody too, go out and get your fishing licenses. That's what pays to stock our lakes. I mean, they do it all, don't they?
That's right.
And if we don't buy the licenses,
We're
we
not
don't
gonna have
get
fishing
fish.
lakes.
Exactly.
And the province is doing a wonderful job managing the fishery as well.
Are they ever? Big, you know, the nicest thing with the Roche too is they stock it every year, but the fish are quality fish. They're chrome, they're big, and they pull like crazy.
Yeah,
That's the beauty.
you know, unfortunately we didn't, well, you did have a big one on this morning.
Yeah, I did.
We never landed a big one today, but, you know, that's why you keep coming back to Roche, because we know what happened the last time we were here.
Oh, but you know, 28-inch fish last time. I think it was
right.
close to 30. It was fantastic. But you know, this lake too. I mean, it's to me, it's the quality fishing. Just you get such hot fish. It's always a blast.
It's a perfect lake.
Thanks for taking me out. Again, when you're out here, conserve the waters. Only take what you need. We'll see you next time. We'll take you sport fishing on the fly. To watch all our latest Sport Fishing on the Fly episodes and to order Sport Fishing on the Fly merchandise, head to www.sfotf.ca. And if you would like to book an adventure like this one showing, head to ontheflyadventures.ca and book yourself the trip of a lifetime.